weird survival tips that could save you from a Halloween nightmare. Let's get right into it. Number 7. The duct tape shield. Imagine you're in the middle of a Halloween party, things are getting weird, and suddenly the atmosphere shifts. Maybe it's a group of clowns or some oddly serious people dressed as zombies and you just know something's about to go down. But here's the thing, you're not ready. You haven't prepared for a potential apocalypse. And while everyone else is running around in panic, you've got duct tape. Yes, duct tape. It sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. Duct tape is basically the MacGyver of survival tools. It can fix your costume when it inevitably rips, patch up a hole in your inflatable pumpkin, and, wait for it, protect you from the horrors of the night. Zombies? You can use duct tape to fortify doors and windows. A monster? Wrap that sucker up in a sticky cocoon and make a quick escape. The point is, duct tape is your best friend when things get messy, literally. In fact, in any emergency situation, Halloween-related or otherwise, it's your go-to survival tool. You might not be able to outrun a giant, glowing, pumpkin-headed fiend, but with a roll of duct tape, you'll be ready for just about anything. You'll never know when you'll need to wrap yourself to the roof and pretend to be part of the decor. Embrace the tape. Number 6. The flashlight in your shoe trick. Alright, so let's say you're stuck in a dark, creepy maze or trying to escape from a haunted house. But, plot twist, you forgot your flashlight. You're in the middle of the darkness, tripping over God knows what, and suddenly, your Halloween nightmare is becoming very real. What do? You reach down and voila! Your shoe has a secret flashlight. What kind of witchcraft is this, you ask? Simple, survival in style. Here's a real-life trick. Put a small, pocket-sized flashlight in your shoe. It's stealthy, it's functional, and no one will suspect you're ready for any darkness that tries to creep up on you. Not only does it work as an emergency light source when things get a little too spooky, but it's also a pretty great conversation starter at the costume party. What's that? Oh, just my emergency flashlight, in case I need to find my way out of a haunted cornfield, you know, basic survival skills. So, next time you're at the costume store, grab that flashlight and stash it in your shoes. It's the one Halloween hack you didn't know you needed, and trust me, you'll be the hero when the lights go out. Number 5. The power of red food coloring. Okay, so you're wandering through a dark forest, maybe you've had a few too many Halloween punches, and now, all of a sudden, you're face to face with a creepy, bloodthirsty werewolf, or worse, a vampire. They're circling you, eyes glowing, jaws ready to rip you apart. But here's the genius survival hack, red food coloring. You might be thinking, what in the world does food coloring have to do with surviving Halloween nightmares? Well, allow me to enlighten you. If you splash a little bit of red food coloring on your shirt, your face, or, hey, your entire body, you'll look like you're covered in genuine blood. In the case of a vampire or a werewolf, they're less likely to go after a wounded victim who's already been bitten. They might assume you've already been attacked, or worse, they'll think you're the real deal and not just another regular human. This is actual survival strategy. Fake your own near-death experience to avoid becoming the main course. No one said Halloween survival had to be pretty. So, next time you're walking through a creepy forest, just coat yourself in red food coloring and you'll be the least appetizing option. They'll leave you alone and you'll survive the night. Number 4. Master the silent scream. Picture this. You're stuck in a corner, trapped by a ghost or an angry pumpkin-headed creature, and you need to scream for help, but no sound comes out. Why? Because you're so paralyzed by fear, you can't get any noise to leave your body. Here's where the silent scream becomes your best Halloween weapon. It's the psychological trick of trying to scream as loudly as possible but holding the sound in. Why does this help? Because when your body goes into panic mode, your natural instinct is to scream at the top of your lungs, alerting every supernatural creature within a mile of your location. But by holding that scream in, controlling it, you keep your position hidden and reduce the chances of attracting attention. It's a weird tactic, sure, but if you can master it, you might just outsmart the monsters creeping around you. So, the next time you're trapped in a terrifying scenario, whether it's in a haunted house or battling an overly aggressive skeleton, remember, your ability to scream silently could be your best chance at survival. Maybe the monsters don't want to hear you, but you sure don't want them to hear you either. Number 3. The fake your own death strategy. Imagine you're cornered by a creepy clown with a chainsaw, a werewolf, or a possessed doll. You're not getting away. Your heart's racing, your pulse is pounding, and your feet refuse to move. Now's the time to pull out your ultimate Halloween survival strategy: fake your own death. It's a classic but highly effective survival tactic. Here's the deal. When in doubt, just drop to the ground, pretend you've been slashed, bitten, or whatever makes the most sense, and lie there completely still. Zombies and monsters, they're not going to waste their time on a dead person. They'll move on, thinking you're another victim they can't eat. If you're really committed, throw a bit of fake blood or red food coloring around to make it more convincing. Your best bet is to make it as lifelike as possible, even holding your breath if you have to. The psychological brilliance here is simple. When the creature thinks you're no longer a threat, they'll go after someone else. Sure, it sounds a little extreme, but if you want to survive the nightmare fuel that Halloween might throw at you, sometimes you've got to go for the dramatic. The moment you hear that werewolf's howl or the chainsaw revving, just drop. You might be lying there in the dark, terrified out of your mind, but it beats the alternative, being their next meal. Number 2. The mirror trick. Okay, you're in a haunted house. Everything's fine, until you stumble into a room full of mirrors. Suddenly, you see shadows moving in your reflection. Maybe it's your own face distorted in the glass. Maybe it's something or someone else standing just behind you. The logical thing? Don't look into mirrors during Halloween. But what if you need to escape and there's no other way out? Here's the trick. Use mirrors to disorient the monsters. Here's how it works. If you're being chased, find a mirror and use it to create confusion. If there's a monster coming after you, move quickly from mirror to mirror, making sure the creature has no clear view of your movement. Reflective surfaces can distort depth perception and create a visual illusion, confusing whatever's after you. Monsters, especially ones that rely on seeing and tracking movement, are highly vulnerable to this. By bouncing around in the reflections, you're less likely to be caught. The key here is misdirection. With a little luck and fast feet, you can outwit whatever's chasing you, making the mirrors your ally instead of your doom. Number 1. The sock trick for escape. And finally, the ultimate Halloween survival hack that no one's talking about: the sock trick. Here's the scenario. You're running for your life from a witch, demon, or pumpkin-headed nightmare, and you've just realized you're not going to outrun them in your pointy shoes or tight costume. You need to get away fast, but your feet are screaming. This is when the sock trick comes in. Take off your shoes and put your socks on backwards. Yes, you heard me right, backwards. It's a simple but effective tactic. Here's why. When you wear your socks inside out, your feet are less likely to get caught on rough surfaces, sticks, or leaves. The smooth side of the socks gives you more grip on slippery surfaces, and the inside-out fabric creates a frictionless barrier, making it harder for your pursuers to catch up with you. The best part? You can use this technique for any nightmare scenario, whether it's running through a haunted house, escaping a creepy villain, or just trying to beat your friends to the last piece of candy. It's a subtle survival hack that works every time. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.